Our Honorable Chief Guest, respected guest of honor, invited dignitaries, guests and delegates. A very good morning and a warm welcome to the launching ceremony of Govindan Home Garden mobile application. This Rural Govindan project team is developing a mobile-based application for farmers in Sri Lanka with help of the RIC grant under the operation of Accelerating Higher Education Expansion and Development. During this critical time period due to COVID-19, Sri Lankan government motivates people to establish 1 million home gardens with the objective of expanding food production continuously within the country. By focusing on that target, we customize our existing Govindan application for home garden purposes, and today we are here to launch our Govindan Home Garden mobile application. So, welcome all of you again for giving us the gift of your presence here this morning. And I would like to warmly welcome our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Amra Disanayaka, Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, and also several invited guests who joined with us via Zoom and live stream. So, to begin with the program, may I start with inviting our guest of honor, Senior Professor Sujiva Amarasena, Vice Chancellor, University of Ruhuna, and Professor E.P.S. Chandana, Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Ruhuna, and also a very special guest, Mr. S. Periyasamy, Director, National Agriculture Information and Communication Center, Department of Agriculture, to be kindly seated on the head table. Ladies and gentlemen, as we are now joined by our dignitaries on the head table right here on the stage, it's now time for us to formally commence the event. As you all are aware, to commence any auspicious occasion with divine blessings, normally we continue with the lighting of traditional oil lamp. But to follow the safety procedures, we thought to skip that from today's event. So we like to get started our event with the university anthem. I would like to kindly request the entire gathering to rise for the university anthem.
Sarasaviyai Meluge, Sarasaviyai Meluge.
Thank you very much. You may please take the seats now. To welcome all of you with the official welcome address, I cordially invite the coordinator, Govinana Project Team, Dr. W.A. Indika.
Thank you, Sansi. Good morning to all of you. Chief guest of the launching ceremony of the Govinana Home Garden Mobile Lab, Mr. Anura Disanayake, Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education. Guest of honor of this launching ceremony, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ruhuna, Senior Professor Sujiva Amarasena. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor E.P.S. Chandana. Special guest, Mr. S. Periyasamy. Invited guest, Senior Professor Janitha Liyanage and Professor Atula Ginige. All distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to welcome you all to the launching ceremony of Govinana Home Gardening Mobile Lab at the University of Ruhuna. Firstly, I believe it is my responsibility to brief you about the Govinana as a coordinator of this project. The Govinana project has long history and journey from year 2011. However, Ruhuna Govinana team was started in year 2018 with the help of RIC grant under the operation of Accelerating Higher Education Expansion and Development. The Govinana team is developing the mobile-based application for farmers in Sri Lanka. I am happy to say that this is the collaborative project and it includes various professional research experts from different universities such as University of Ruhuna, University of Colombo School of Computing and Western Sydney University, Australia. Due to this critical situation, Govinana team decided to do something for our nation through our project. As a result of that, team created the sub-project as Govinana Home Garden. It is a mobile-based application for home garden purposes. At the initial stage of this application, is support the Saubhagya program of the government that target to establish 1 million home garden. Today, we are in the position to launch this mobile application. We are honored by the presence of the Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, Mr. Anura Disanayake. We thank you, sir, for consenting to be the chief guest of this event. We highly appreciate your commitment and please accept our warmest welcome. I warmly welcome the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ruhuna, Senior Professor Sujiva Amarasena. Vice Chancellor, sir, your presence at this event is a great honor for us and your advice and leadership was a huge strength for us to bring this success. I am privileged to welcome Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Ruhuna, Professor E.P.S. Chandana, while deeply appreciating your support extended in numerous ways to this event. I am honored to extend my heartfelt welcome to the special guest, Mr. S. Periyasamy, Director, National Agriculture Information and Communication Center, Department of Agriculture. Thank you for attending this ceremony. I am delighted to welcome Senior Professor Janitha Liyanage, Project Director, Head Operation, and Vice Chairperson of University Grant Commission. You are the strength behind this project. Without the financial support of the Head Operation, this is impossible for us to put forward. Without the support of Professor Atula Ginige, Western Sydney University, Australia, as the foreign advisor of this project, this event would not be a reality. I warmly welcome you to this event. I am delighted to welcome Professor Ranjit Senaratne, Director of National Science Foundation, who is also with us today to grace this occasion. Deans of faculties, your presence is highly appreciated and we welcome you all for this event. May I thankfully welcome the Acting Dean, Faculty of Science, Dr. G.D.K. Mahanama. Your presence is greatly acknowledged. It with great pleasure I warmly welcome the Director of OTS, Dr. Chintaka Sanath, and the Director of University Business Linkage Cell, University of Pune, Professor Malik Hettieva. My warm welcome extends to all the professors, heads of department, all academics. Your presence is highly appreciated and it is a great strength for us. I warmly welcome all the distinguished invitees, including Registrar, Acting Librarian, BERSA, staff members of the University of Pune, and industrial partners of Govinana Project, Haley's Agriculture, Mr. Samudra Rajapraksa, and Extra PLC, who are gathered here to grace this occasion. Finally, our team hopes that you will use this application to overcome the knowledge gap that require to efficient and sustainable home garden purposes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indika. It's now time to give a brief introduction about the Govinana project. For that, it's my pleasure to invite Professor Atula Ginike, Western Sydney University, Australia. He is the advisor of Govinana project. He will deliver his speech via Zoom.
Thank you, Sarasi. Distinguished guests, invitees, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues, very good morning to all of you. Today I am very happy to see the fruits of a project that we started in 2011. In 2011, we as academics, especially with a computing background, asked the question, what contribution can be made to the human? This question got rephrased to what we become a digitally connected society. How can we make use of that connectivity and make a difference? To find how we can do that, we did some exploration and found the overproduction problem that is common in many developing countries. As we know in Sri Lanka, very often the farmers can't sell their harvest. But instead of trying to find a solution to the symptoms, we took time as academics and researchers to find what is the root cause for that problem. In that journey, over the years, we discovered there is a multi-level coordination failure in the agricultural domain. As mentioned earlier by Anusha, there is a knowledge gap. The knowledge is not flowing to the farmers or to the home gardeners who wants to grow the crops. But once you grow the crop, we need to have a way to sell the harvest. Also, people need inputs and the credit. Thus, we found that we need to find a holistic solution to this. And after 3 PhDs and a master's project completed by 2016, we developed a solution called Digital Knowledge Agribusiness Ecosystem to address this. Then I had the opportunity to take this to India, and this solution is now tried in various parts of India, especially in Telangana. Then Anusha, who was one of the early PhD person in the project, was very keen to get it again happening in Sri Lanka and got the head funding. So we started to deploy the system in Sri Lanka, and we were working on developing it for farmers. Then we got this request to develop a version very quickly for the home gardens, as it's the need of the time. So the team actually worked very hard in the last about 1.5 months, at most 2 months, to get this done very quickly. And today we are very happy that we are in a position to launch this home garden app. This will be followed by the second app, which is the original intention to create for the farming community, to provide them with the necessary knowledge, link them into the markets, link them to the input suppliers. That's where our industry partners, trainees and Nextstart is collaborating with the University of Kuruna. And then we can extend that to provide microfinance and other services. So together we can create this ecosystem. And in addition to the original 3 PhDs, today there are many more PhDs happening. One in Kuruna and 4 others in Western Sydney University linked to this, but again with the Sri Lankan students from Colombo, Calenium, and Peradeniya. So it is a great pleasure to see how we can use our own talent to find a solution that can impact our agriculture sector and make it better. So this makes me very, very happy that we as academics, we can now create an impact, do some real problems and make a difference. Another project I would like to mention briefly is the collaboration we have with Hector Tobacco and the Agrarian Research Institute, where last year we started looking at this same system through an app called Ladybird to look at how we can minimize use of pesticides and chemicals. So all that knowledge we can bring back to make the whole agriculture sector efficient and effective. And finally, none of these would have been possible without the dedication of the team that did a lot of work to make it happen over the years, and especially in the last few months when there was a request to create this home garden land. They worked tirelessly, and it is that hard effort which is bearing the results today. So I would like to finally thank the team that worked very, very hard to make this a success. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I cordially invite Mr. S. Peliyasamy, Director, National Agriculture Information and Communication Center, Department of Agriculture, to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Vice Chancellor of the University of Rohini, Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University, Deans of the University, and heads of departments, and my colleagues. Good morning, everybody. I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for providing our department to represent here for this event. Today, the agriculture sector is confronted by many challenges, such as negative impact of climate change, natural disasters, loss of biodiversity, inefficient supply chains, and other problems. The information needs of farmers will only increase as they have to make more and more complex decisions on their land, selection of the crop, and choice of market to sell their products, and other necessary decisions that impact the livelihoods of their families and society. Indeed, agriculture is becoming increasing knowledge intensive. We have witnessed the development of information communication technology, or the ICT, as a major driver of economic growth. Increase the use of mobile phones for information exchange is now a common practice. In Sri Lanka, we have more than our population mobile phones. Our average mobile phone is 1.2%. 1.2. That is more than our population now, and we have about 14 million mobile smartphones. Linking knowledge to innovation is also crucial to addressing the information and knowledge gap in the agriculture sector. Therefore, ICT can also play a very important role in bridging these information gaps. Use of information communication technology for the extension delivery, which makes the extension services more effective and efficient, and it's a timely need of the hour. Most of the farmers or their family members use smartphones. They are now using ICT such as mobile apps. Extension strategies for related activities can be delivered delivered without much extra expenses and effort. Department of Agriculture has been promoting the use of ICT in agriculture. We have been implementing several ICT initiatives with the support of private sector and other relevant institutes. Sri Lanka is heavily depending on the imports for its food security. Therefore, it is utmost important to increase the productivity of agriculture sector. Research and extension play an important role in increasing productivity. There are a number of factors that contributes to less productivity. Less adoption rate of innovation and lack of information about marketplace are the leading factors which cause this productivity. To bridge the gap between research and extension and to find marketplace, ICT could be utilized very effectively. In the present era of global information revolution, realizing these ambitions are invariably linked to digital inclusion of the society, though through information and communication technology. The existing statistics suggest that the situation in ICT literacy and access in Sri Lanka does not represent a healthy situation. This is problematic since individual usage of ICT and internet penetration could strongly determine the distribution of benefits of digital development to the common public. At present, agriculture extension is handled by many organizations. Almost all the organizations use ICT initiatives to disseminate agriculture information related to crop production, market information, weather forecasting, and other needs of farmers. With the present scenario, the Department of Agriculture taken measures to merge ICT supported agriculture system with a traditional system to strengthen the agriculture extension system that function more efficiently with the use of modern ICT. National Agriculture Information Communication Center of the department is responsible for the implementing of ICT initiatives. Smartphones have become a major source of access to internet, email, and social media. Rising popularity of social media has attracted a section of the society towards ICT. Moreover, number of people has expanded their phone base, adding new government facilities, e-government facilities, and rapid growth of mobile phone use has facilitated this further. Not only government organizations, number of private entities that use e-commerce facilities to expand their market base also increased. Advancement in the field of ICT provides a huge opportunity for agriculture sector to disseminate agriculture related information to stakeholders and leads to increased productivity of crop sector. I hope the mobile app on Home Garden will help our beneficiaries to improve their knowledge and skills in home garden, and this lead to improve the food security of our country. I thank you all for this ICT innovation to popularize home garden among general public, and I congratulate the team which are involved in the developing home garden mobile app. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Periasamy. Your presence here is much of value to us. Now coming up next is a much awaited item on the agenda because it's now time for us to begin our official launching. For that, once again, I kindly invite Mr. S. Periasamy, Director, National Agriculture Information and Communication Center, Department of Agriculture, to launch our official website. button because now it's time for our official launching of the app. For that, I would like to invite our guest of honor, Senior Professor Sujiva Amarasena, Vice Chancellor, University of Ruhuna. Thank you very much, sir. Next item on the agenda will be a message from our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Andra Disanayaka, Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education. On behalf of Mr. Andra Disanayaka, Professor W.G.T. Lakpini will read the message.
Good morning, distinguished guests, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Aruna Disanayaka, Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, is unable to attend today's event. So he has sent us a message. I am here to read that. Digital agriculture can play a major role in food security by reducing wastage, predicting demand, providing real-time information, real-time feedback, and much more. Ruhuna Govinana mobile application is such a game-changing technological application, especially designed and developed for Sri Lankan farmers. The Govinana team has developed a mobile-based application for farmers in Sri Lanka with the help of the RIC grant under the operation of accelerating higher education, expansion, and development. The main objective of this project is to develop and commercialize a mobile-based information system to enhance the growth and long-term sustainability of the Sri Lankan vegetable and paddy sectors. Over the last few months, Sri Lanka had to face the challenge of global pandemic of COVID-19. During this critical time period of COVID-19, the team decided to do something different to suit new needs of COVID-19 for the nation through this project. Govinana Home Gardening mobile app was the end result of that effort. Further, Sri Lankan government motivates people to establish 1 million home gardens with the objective of expediting food continuously within the country until the country recovers from the economic strains of COVID-19. By focusing on that target and aligning with the national needs, University of Ruhuna Govinana team have done a great job by introducing their mobile app for Sri Lankan people. This home gardening app has many functions related to home gardening. It guides the farmers step by step to cultivate the crops correctly until harvested. It also provides the helpful information for organic farming in structured manner. It has an activity calendar that supports farmers to organize their farming activities and many more features. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Govinana team and wish them all very best for future developments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Lakmini. Next, on behalf of Senior Professor Janita Liyanage, Project Director, Head Operations, and also Vice Chair UGC, Professor Tusita Abetunga, Lead Academic Expert, RDI, Head Operations, will deliver the presentation via Zoom.
Professor Janita Liyanage is unable to attend this launching ceremony today. Therefore, I'm representing her. She wanted me to convey her congratulations to the winning team. Let me quickly summarize what we were planning to do under Ahead Results Area 3 to improve research development, innovation and commercialization activities in all 15 universities. As you can see, we have been awarding different funding schemes, DOR, ICE, RIC, and this particular team from University of Ruhuna, they won a RIC research grant under round 1. Now, when these outcomes from these research projects are coming, we wanted to have a central mechanism to take these outcomes to the community or industry through these university business linkage cells. And I'm very happy to announce a university business linkage cell at the University Ruhuna is also doing quite well. Very quickly, to give you a summary of the research projects that we have awarded under Ahead, under round 1 and round 2, you can see we have had 7 different schemes, and you can see different color bars. The black bar indicates the total number of projects awarded. University of Ruhuna, I'm very happy to inform you all have won 6 projects. So we wanted these 6 projects to do very well, like this particular RIC project, and we also want non-ahead funded research to achieve outcomes so that those can be commercialized or outcomes can be used by the society through the UBL cell. So it's really a great pleasure for me to say a few words during the launch of this app Govinana. And I hear that this provides a total solution to the farmers in the country. And I take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. W.A. Indika, who is the coordinator, and her team of researchers. I still remember she came several times to Colombo, to our OMSD Ahead, to face the evaluators and also to prepare all the documents related to this project. And I'm very happy to see that she has built a strong team in the University of Ruhuna, and the team with her leadership were able to reach these outcomes pretty soon. So let me wish you and the team that this will be the best e-platform for our farmers in Sri Lanka. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the university business linkage cells we are developing in all universities in the country. We are doing that work in 4 different phases. UGC recognized the importance of this work and set up the standing committee, and we met for the first time on May 18, 2020. Talking about what we have done so far under phase 1, all universities, they have developed an intellectual property policy. So I appeal to you, my colleagues at University of Ruhuna, to look at your IP policy, because that will give an overarching guidance for you all to commercialize your research work. And all the other templates required for commercialization of research is done, and I hope to see many license agreements arising from ahead funded research or non-ahead funded research throughout the lifetime of a head. Just to draw your attention to the work in relation to the UBL, you can see University of Ruhuna has completed phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 4 is very difficult, but I'm pretty sure with research outcomes like this one, University of Ruhuna will be able to complete phase 4 pretty soon. And for us to do this work well, we can't do this work alone. And I'm happy to remind you that our Secretary to the Ministry of Higher Education launched this app Connect Ahead on December 10, 2019. And with under his guidance and his forward thinking, I'm pretty sure we will be able to connect our researchers in the universities with private sector through this app. So for that, I request all the academics to register in the app so that the industry will see what you're doing. And I also request all of you to tell the industries about this app so that they get to know about it and register. If they want to work with universities, then they can connect to the research teams through the app. Then finally, when there are outcomes, those can go through the UBL. One last very important thing is that for the first time in Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan university academics can access commercial patent databases. But the access is limited, and in the website we have given how to extract information from free databases. We can use those as well as these commercial databases and see what has happened in the world and try to create knowledge new to the world. So I congratulate the winning team, RIC team, and all the other ahead research area 3 winning teams at the University of Ruhuna. And I thank the Vice Chancellor of University of Ruhuna for his support in carrying out this ahead work. And thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, next to address all of you, I kindly invite our honorable guest, Senior Professor Sujiva Amarasena, Vice Chancellor, University of Ruhuna.
Good morning to all of you. Shanmugha Disanayaka, Secretary Minister of Higher Education, Professor Janitha Liyanage, Vice Chairperson, UGC, and person in charge of a project at the UGC, Mr. Periyasamy, Deans, Senior Professors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. First, I don't want to waste time, but let me congratulate the entire team and their connected teams, including Professor Atula Ginige from University of Western Sydney and University of Colombo School of Computing. And I saw that project had been started in 2011 with Professor Gihan Wickramanayake in the team. And for your information, Professor Gihan Wickramanayake is one of my classmates. So, University of Western Sydney and Hilly's Agriculture and Extar. So it's a combined effort with a lot of funding from the head and Professor Vedunga's leadership. So you have achieved something. So I think that's a big achievement in the current circumstances. So many congratulations, and we stop there. Because you achieve something, I am not a person who boasts of things that I have achieved in the past. I just move forward. Because there are many other things to achieve. Today the theme of my talk will be two areas. Firstly, I would talk to you as Vice Chancellor, as a home gardener and a farmer. And come to that Vice Chancellor at the end. So I am here as a farmer and a home gardener. So I have land and I have money to invest, home gardening and farming. So help me in doing that. Only thing I don't want to achieve is to lose money. That is all. I don't want to make profit. I'm a farmer who doesn't want to make profit. Help me in gardening and reduce my. I'm prepared to invest in that. So I believe this will help me in doing that, hopefully. Say in my own home at Karapitia, I have a 70 acre land, big land. So by today's standards, so let me convert that into a home garden and let me have safe food from my own home garden. And this will do that. Fine. I have no problem with that. But taking it forward, I think you should give me 2 other areas. If I just browse through your home garden app, I think it doesn't tell me how to protect myself from, say, leptospirosis. Am I at risk of leptospirosis? Which is a disease that affects farmers. Right? Maybe you can develop that. Because I think we need to protect their lives. But when it comes to commercial farming, that will become a little more important. May not be. I don't know whether some of you have heard this, but there is another disease called milidiosis that is affecting people who work in gardens and farming industry. It's a rare disease, right? But it is a serious disease. It can be treated, but it needs to be diagnosed because it's not being diagnosed very regularly and a lot of people have not even heard of it. It can even affect you and me while doing home garden. That's one thing. So maybe you can improve on that. Other side, if I write, I think it ends at harvesting. Getting harvest into grocery shops if you have little extra products is probably not at this. If I saw it there, I was very quick to read from the beginning to the end. So I didn't see those 2 areas. Maybe so you can probably improve on those 2 areas with time, and I'm sure Vice Chancellor as a home gardening person will be helped if you have those 2 areas as well. And at the end of the day, I won't be able to earn money, but I might be able to get the ROI. I'll be investing some money for my home garden, and I'll be getting safe food which cannot be valued. But also I will reduce the cost of, say, vegetables from my monthly expenditure with that. So I think that's good enough if this project does well. I'm going to move on to, same thing will happen to farmers. If there are people who are doing on larger scale, they would like to have their ROI plus a little bit of extra money for other things. Maybe you can expand to the other project, not the home gardening, agriculture for farmers, help them earn extra money, and you will take it there to commercializing their farming industry or agricultural industry in a small scale. Okay. I think I'm going to move to my next theme, Vice Chancellor as Vice Chancellor. Farmer's job has ended. I would like to see this project monitored. How is this being utilized? How many people access this application? Does it help them? Yes. 10,000 people might access this app and they might start gardening. Do we know, or will we ever come to know whether those 10,000 people or at least 100 people out sample from that 10,000 people will actually whether they benefited or will benefit with this application? How do we monitor this? Let me get back to health again. We vaccinate children for various diseases. Do we know whether these vaccines help them? So So there is a system to monitor. We know that if somebody has polio or somebody gets polio, hepatitis or diphtheria or tetanus, there is a system to monitor that. They go to hospital, they don't get to come to the MOH who vaccinates them. They go to the hospital, from hospital that data is fed into the system. So they know there is a vaccination failure if there is a single case of tetanus in the country, and it will be investigated. A similar model has to be developed with this. Okay, I don't know whether you have that model already, but I believe it is probably not there. Right? Who can do this? I think there is a department in your own faculty, the agribusiness management or whatever. I think it can be economics, which teaches agricultural economics, who can join hands with economics department of the faculty of humanities and social sciences, who can investigate these families who are involved in home gardening with the support of this app and look at the benefit to the family, at least on a short-term basis, 1 year, 2 years. They got involved in home gardening, so they improve their knowledge on home gardening. One measure, you can assess or measure that knowledge. 2, did it actually help the family reduce their expenditure on vegetables? Not necessarily on entire food, but expenditure on vegetables. I think that is possible to measure. 3 is a long-term thing. Did it actually help or improve their health? It is possible to measure it. I'm sure it is possible to measure it. But it will take years to see, because health benefits are not seen overnight in a project like this. So join hands, do interdisciplinary monitoring and research, and join with faculty of medicine and see whether you could. I'm sure I have some interest. I think we should do something for this, because we are talking about over 1,000 deaths due to leptospirosis in this country. When they are seriously ill, sometimes we have to do what we call ECMO, extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. They actually go to a heart and lung bypass machine with that ECMO, and survive for 10 days on that maybe, and then ultimately come out of it. There is only one place that does it in the country, that's at Karapiti, and it's pretty expensive. Okay. So prevent it. Can we see how to prevent leptospirosis? With these applications, can we develop these further? So don't stop there. And take it to the next step. Help people start up agriculture as an industry. There are probably people with money who may not be willing to take risks on investment, their money on agriculture. And we can surely show them this and help them with this. So you can actually help this country grow out of economic impact of COVID-19. I think you have to depend on this country's self-reliant economy and expansion of that, say from about 12.5 or maybe 15% of economy, maybe 30% of agricultural economy that is contributing to GDP in this country, and increase it further to 40%, maybe 50%. Catch up with the loss due to tourism sector and other areas. Already tea industry is catching up. So take it. There will be investors in that. Vice Chancellor can only help you. I think my last plea for all of you is that, and I believe most of you are from Faculty of Agriculture, I think we have a problem within us. So we can do all this. They are experts. IT experts now. We have. Ultimately, this should get converted to benefits to the country. But we call, and I think we have been discussing this for more than almost a year now. Academic social responsibility, taking our university knowledge into community and make people knowledgeable and get people to earn money through the knowledge dissemination. Mostly for the salaries that are paid by the government for your academic. Not without expecting anything in return, in addition to what you get. You can only do that, you can do that only by doing one thing. That's my understanding about your faculty of agriculture. If you do have a paradigm shift, We at the moment have a very large land area, 104 acres of and another 30 acres outside. We have to invest in that. And we have a farm. And our farm is not making profit. I think it is difficult also. I mean, I'm not saying that it is possible to do it overnight, but I think it is possible to make profits, some profit out of that farm. Only if you make a paradigm shift. Because at the moment we are a teaching faculty and our farm is for us to teach. Therefore we need to teach them not only how to make profits but also how you could lose money. I think they should learn both. But if they learn only how to lose money in the farm, they will never take up agriculture as a business. So forget about, there is a paradigm shift for the time being. Forget about being an academic institution teaching. Just try and think yourself as a big community of people, 100 academic staff members who are trying to drive this farm for a profit-making industry. Forget your teaching business, teaching commitment. Can we make profits out of this? Forgetting this. If you do that paradigm shift, in 1 year's time you will be making profit. For example, I will just think, I think I will be talking to someone, maybe from academics as well. If you can get your 200 students to plant a coconut tree on their entry into the Faculty of Agriculture, in 3 years' time, they will be plucking coconut when they graduate. Give some money back to them. If they are asked to look after one tree, I think they will be good graduates, practical graduates one day. Do the same thing, do in some other garden. Coconut tree, one mango tree, one tree. So if we can do that, one cow to look after, one calf, one pig in animal science. Do that. That's a paradigm shift, like to me. Do that. I think as a Vice Chancellor, I will be very happy in another 2 years. That's problem-based learning. In medicine, we talk about problem-based learning. We give them a problem, and we used to learn in the tradition. We use physiology, but we are moving. Give the problem and give the back. So agricultural biology, how to control pests for the coconut tree, and agricultural economics, how to sell products, and animals. All those departments, agricultural engineering, how to protect something, devise something for to protect coconut trees from porcupines, if there was, right? So we'll help them. I think that's the way I want to think as a Vice Chancellor for the Faculty of Agriculture. Use these apps for the benefit of that community as well and develop that. I think that is the message from the Vice Chancellor on this launch of mobile lab for ongoing for home garden and farmers, right? So thank you very much for doing this for University of Luna and congratulate you for achieving this. And I wish the Faculty of Agriculture and the entire team all the best to work with teams like headed by Sapirasamy and Haley's in the commercial sector and other universities and universities internationally and the HEAD project. Invest that money. Ultimately, this money that is come to us in these projects would be paid back by people of this country, including farmers, who will be paying indirect taxes to pay back these loans. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Your presence here is much of value to us. So, our next item on the agenda will be a demonstration on how to use the app by Mr. Varuna Gamge, software developer, Govinana project.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I will let you be in a quick tour of our app. Actually, this home garden app is one product of our Indian family, as we are having working on another app which is called Farm app. This is a quick throughout we have to do due to this COVID-19 situation. So when we take app, we have following modules developed at the moment. It has crop module, activity calendar module, then growing info module, app settings module, then weather forecasting module, and security module, and pest and disease module which will come in the future. And it's very easy to use with the when you log into the app, you can start using it in just 5 steps. Also, the next thing is we provide this app in main 3 languages, that is English, Sinhala and Tamil. Once you select your language, you can create your home garden. Then you can select what crops you want to grow. Then you can select the varieties, and you can select when you are going to plant that. And once you select it, you will get a list of activities to follow. Let's quick go through that. So once you log in, you will get the main menu, and here in the crop module you can go to select home garden. Then you will get this list of crops, and here the most sophisticated thing is we are providing this crop list as optimized to the location. This is not just a crop list, it is optimized to the location where you select your home garden. Then once you select a particular crop, you will get list of varieties available, and you can go for the information of that particular variety before growing. Also, if you like to grow the variety, you can select it, and then it will ask from when you are going to grow. And once you select the date and you set it, then it will pop up your message that you have to start the activities from this date. So if you are ready, you can continue. Then the growing crops will show in this growing list, and once you grow a particular crop, you can go to the growing list like this. Then it will show you list of activities with the dates which you need to follow up. And here, if you do a particular here the next sophisticated thing is in this list, this is dynamic. That means now if you select the first one, you are going to select this Pohora. So according to your selection, your activity list will be adjusted. Like if you say you are going to select carbon, then you will get the list of activities according to that, what to be done. Okay. And next thing is now when you go to activity calendar, so every day in this calendar you will get activity list, what to be done on that day. And also this activity list will come to you as notifications every morning. It will be automatically, when you
don't use the app, you close it, it will pop up as a notification in the morning, so you will know what to be done for that day. Okay, it is providing by that. So it's very easy to you, even because of you are even a home gardener, you will be busy, so we will notify from that these are the things to be done. So you can select it is done or not, and you get feedback. So next thing is we are providing informations which are created from our professional team, because we have a really professional team who is working behind with this, so you get professional knowledge through that. So if you go to a particular section, you will see how to, when you are doing this home gardening, what are the advantages, how to create those things, how to make compost, for example, right? So like this, all these informations are providing, and this part will be continuously upgrading according to timely manner. As well as we are providing weather forecasting module, which you can see weather conditions, all. Also, when you go to settings module, you will see your during security things. You will see all your, you can change, because we are having a pin to connect web, so you can change it to your phone number. Actually, it is connected to your phone number. So you can, if you need, you can change your phone number and email. So those things are available. So it's very simple and very easy to use. You can select things that very easily. You can go through it very easily. So once you select in just 4-5 steps, you will get what to be done in here. This is the most important part, to get all the return from this app. So every day you can, when you are growing, you can see what activities, and you can continue through it. So that is those are the basic things. And next thing is we are providing the app in all 3 languages. So it's available, all the information is available in all 3 languages. Okay, so we are planning to grow this in entire country, and we have already set up in such way. So as well as in the next versions, we are trying to, at the moment we are already working on these things. We are working on this demand supply forecasting module. Also artificial intelligence module we are working on to detect the pest diseases. Also crop market information module, and also one for input suppliers to attach with, and microfinance insurance. These things are coming in the future in this app. Already we are working, but those are not 100% completed to attach at the moment, and also we did this as a quick release due to this COVID situation. That is the case. And also we are at a global reach with that. Already it is running in India with our central database, and also we are planning in South Pacific, Africa also. And now today we have started, it's very happy in Sri Lanka. So now you can get it through govinana.lk, and also now it's available through the you can download it now from the Play Store. It's available now at Play Store. So you can just visit and download, and I invite you all to have a look into, and also I invite you to put us a comment, review. It will be very valuable to us for development because if you see anything to be updated, any suggestions, those all suggestions are welcome from all of you. So I would like to invite again to ask who the review was, and also I like to make this opportunity to thank all of you who support to the technical team. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Varun. As we have come to the end of today's event, I would like to invite Dr. M.K.D.K. Piyaratna, Deputy Coordinator, Govinana Project, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sarthi. Very good day to all of you, distinguished guests, invitees, and colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of the Govinana team, I extend my very hearty vote of thanks to the Chief Guest, Mr. Anura Dissanayake, Secretary, Minister of Higher Education, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Thank you very much. Then I express my warm and sincere gratitude to the guest of honor, Senior Professor Sujiv Amarsena, the Vice Chancellor, University of Pune, for your gracious participation and the support given throughout in this debate. Thank you very much, sir. Next, my heartfelt thanks goes to Professor E.P.S. Chandana, Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Pune. Thank you very much, sir, for being here and for your support extended to us in numerous ways during organizing this event. Special guest, Mr. S. Pegesamy, Director, National Agriculture Information and Communication Center, Department of Agriculture, Sri Lanka. Please accept my sincere gratitude for participating in this event all the way from Henley. It's an honor for us to have you here in this occasion. Thank you very much for the inspiring talk and sharing your experiences with us today. My heartfelt thanks also goes to Professor Jagta Lienge, Director, Head Operations. Thank you very much, Madam, for accepting our invitation and sparing your precious time for us. Without the financial support of the HEAD project RIC grant, this is impossible for us to put forward. Thank you very much for your great support. I should mention Professor Akula Ginike, Western Sydney University, Australia. You have been exceptionally helpful from the beginning to this big project. Thank you very much, sir, for your guidance, encouragement, and great support extended to the successful completion of this project. I am very much thankful to all deans of faculties, members of council, registrar, librarian, bursar, and all other distinguished invitees for your gracious participation in this event. On behalf of the Govinana team, I express my greatest gratitude to Technical Evaluation Committee of Govinana, headed by Dr. K. Jeevani and the team members for their great support for success of this project. My special thanks goes to the industrial partners of the Govinana project, Mr. Samudra Rajapaksa, Head of Strategic Business Development, Aries Agriculture, and Major Atula Gunaratna, Director of Marketing at Star PLC. Thank you very much for your cooperation with us and our project. I take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to the Director of ODS, Director of UPL, and the staff members of these units. Your contribution extended to this project is highly appreciated. I also would like to express my gratitude to the Head of the Department of Computer Science, all the members of the Computer Science, Faculty of Science, and as well as the Faculty of Agriculture, for facilitating to conduct research works and supporting us in numerous ways to put forward this work. I should also mention Mr. Chandan Vimal Ratna, Network Engineer, Department of Computer Science, for his invaluable support all the way in this technical staff. Thank you very much for your great support. There is a huge team behind the scene who has actually worked hard for several months to put this forward. I express my heartfelt gratitude to all the team members from the University of Pune, University of Colombo School of Computing, and Western Sydney University, Australia. There are lots of others who extended huge support to organize this event during the last few weeks. Those are the people who did hard work to bring this event earlier. We offer our sincere thanks to the whole academic and non-academic staff of the University of Corona, all staff members of the cleaning service, and all members of security staff. All electronic and printed media partners, thank you very much for your cooperation and covering this event. We have done the job, now it's your time to bring this to the public. Finally, thank you very much for your participation. We believe that you will be using our mobile app for home gardening and it will be fruitful for your requirements. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we have come to the end of our event. It's time for us to formally close the event with the national anthem. I would like to kindly request the entire gathering to rise for the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining with us today. So please stay and enjoy your refreshments now. While enjoying your refreshments, you all can download our app through the link and QR code displayed in the screen and test it.